I've been doing track days for over 15 years now, and I started actually at Donington in the snow and going around learning how to get around bends. I was actually training for a rally drive, and my track day experience then sort of blossomed from then. I really hope from today I'll get over some of my hang-ups down Craner curves, my hang-ups down the top end of the circuit where I tend to brake when I'm turning at the same time, and you get the usual corkscrew feeling of the car. I want to be a lot tighter driver.
The first part of the teaching process is actually a bit of an assessment. So I know that Phil's been driving for a long time. He's been doing track days for a really long time. He also knows this circuit very well. So the first thing on my agenda is to actually see where he's at, to assess a bit of his driving out on track. Having track experience can often be a huge benefit. You know where you're going, you might know some of the racing lines, some of the techniques for some of the corners. But on the flip side of that, you may also have some bad habits that need undoing as well. So it's a bit of a 50-50. If what Phil knows about Donington is genuinely good stuff, then we've definitely got a head start to the day. Today we're using the Milltek RS4 Audi, and to be honest, from my side of things, that's a quick car to have out on track. Luckily, I know that Phil's got a good background in driving. He knows the car well, he drives it a lot on the road, and he also knows the circuit. So I'm fairly confident and comfortable getting in alongside him. So we've just got back in from our first drive out on track, and I have to say I was very impressed. I think the first thing we're going to look at is the racing line. For me, from a coaching point of view, to go fast round a circuit, the first thing you have to have absolutely nailed is the racing line. Phil's been here quite a lot before, he knows the circuit well, and he has a general understanding of what the racing line is. For me, we need to tweak it ever so slightly, a couple of feet to the left here, just getting that apex a little better there, and I think some more speed will come. I think there's literally a few seconds to find before we move on from this.
And then straight and brake.
Second time, Tom's instructions fresh in my mind, trying to interpret it properly, turned in early down Craner, and the car just went completely loose, straight over the grass, over the bottom of the old hairpin, and just narrowly, with a little bit of extra help from Tom, avoided too much gravel trap. Back on the circuit, no damage to car, just a little bit of damage to own personality.
Built up really nicely. We're getting faster and faster each lap that we undertook, and it was a very, very small mistake. We just turned in probably at the right time, but just a little aggressively. But when we're doing 110 miles an hour down the Craner curves, that kind of margin for error just isn't there. But Phil did the correct thing as soon as the car started to move around and slightly straightened it up and picked his route through the grass, and unfortunately a little bit of gravel there at the end as well. But the car's fine and we're fine, so we'll be back out on track in no time. After solving that, it became quite clear that we're going to have to look a little more in depth depth at the driving. And the first thing for me is the braking. It's the first thing that you do approaching a corner, and that's now what we're working on.
Tom immediately picked up on some of my bad habits, not always clipping apexes, coming off the throttle perhaps sometimes a bit too soon and going on too soon.
We're not allowed to time on a track day, but from my coach instincts, I'd say he's already at least a couple of seconds quicker.
That I'm not a race driver. I've learned that there's a big gap between a race driver and a fast track day driver. But I've learned a lot. I've learned car control, I've learned confidence, I've learned about weight transference. There's a lot to take in. My only hope is that I hold it in for the next time I'm out on track, which will be the next couple of weeks. And can really put it to good use. But I felt that during the day my times got faster, I felt my car control got better, and from all those points of view, really enjoyed it. Big thank you to Tom. Really can't say enough of how having a really top driver in the car makes such a big difference.
I think know where you're going is the first one. You really need to know the circuit. And learn that before you build any speed. So don't go out there and attack straight away, because when you're doing that, you're at 100% of your capacity, and it's a real struggle to take on anything new. So know where you're going, then build the speed. And also, don't do too long out on circuit. Go out, do short stints, and review them. You know, have a little self-review of what you've done and how you can do it better.